Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast and a game between Mountsporce's Mana and Lucifron here on Entombed Valley. We see Mana spawning as the orange Protoss on the top left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Lucifron spawning as the green Terran. Terran versus Protoss, one of my favorite matchups as it is perhaps my most difficult matchup right now, at least in Heart of the Swarm, and one of the reasons why I'm casting this, as I don't have the time to really study up on the best players. So this will be a little bit of a different cast, some play-by-play, but also some analysis by me in order to figure out timings for Protoss and what some other strategies will become. Now, taking a look on the top left-hand side, Mana pretty much opening up with a very standard build. I can't imagine a pylon going down at any other time, as we'll be waiting to see if Mana gets that gateway and then goes for that assimilator. Meanwhile, taking a look over here, Lucifron spawning as the green Terran player on the bottom left will be doing a front door seal. Now, a front door seal is not actually a very common strategy anymore, especially for Protoss, or especially against Protoss as a Terran player in Heart of the Swarm, just because of that mothership core. That mothership core can start floating off right here, start damaging these buildings, making it very, very difficult for a Terran player to even attempt to do a wall off. And this strategy is pretty much the days of Wings of Liberty, which are starting to count down. Wings of Liberty will be being phased out, I believe, as Heart of the Swarm will become the main game very, very soon. SCV will get a little bit lucky in terms of that scout, and he will be able to scout out that top left-hand side. Let's take a look at Mana, and Mana actually going for a gateway, no assimilator, which indicates that we will be seeing a fast nexus. Now, with this fast nexus, Mana is hoping to take the economic lead, and this is important that the SCV actually scouted out the right location at the right time. Lucifron, now seeing this nexus, knows that, okay, there's not going to be any stalkers for quite some time since the cybernetics core is not down. There's not going to be any gas, and he now knows that he can set up a command center of his own. The question is going to be how far along this economic path the game will be taking, as the SCV is doing a little bit of a dance trying to construct a bunker. Now, this bunker is not going to get constructed all the way, as the SCV will be forced to retreat and return back home. Bunker will most likely be cancelled. Lucifron will end up losing 25 minerals very, very easily, but at the same time, every minute that these probes are not mining is lost resources. So a little bit of a nice recovery there as we now see the SCV. Oh, is the SCV going to get taken down? One more zap would do it. Is the probe going to go down? Yes, it does. And now you can see that the Zealot is trying to come in. Are we going to see the cancellation? Beautifully played by Lucifron. A little bit of micro wars. And I like these small engagements early on. Taking a look at the losses, 150 versus 25. 3 probes now down for Mana. So he's doing all the small things to get the advantage as we are now establishing a bunker on the front door. The Zealots now looking to see if there is perhaps a proxy barracks anywhere on the map. Not quite sure of the timing on those Marines. Takes this banana hallway corridor and now going to hide off the Zealots here. We are going to be getting a bunker down here on the low ground. And with that bunker, it should be able to fend off against any stalkers that are trying to poke their head up. Now, this is going to be the economic game, as I mentioned, and we are already running up on 2 gas by Mana. Taking a look at what Lucifron's doing, he is doing that classic Terran 3 barracks build, and with a bunker on the front door, the stalkers and the Zealots will not be able to easily charge up. Now, if this was Heart of the Swarm, I would say that it is about time that Lucifron started setting up a engineering bay, as you do want to have missile turrets available to you relatively early. I am going to be making a lot more references to Heart of the Swarm just because it is about 2 months away from release, and I myself need to make mental notes if I'm to get better and be able to get back in the Masters where I want to be. Now, Mana is already setting up his third base, and taking a look at the economy, it is 33 probes to 28 SCVs, even though Lucifron did take out 3 relatively early workers. So the economic advantage of Mana still there. You can take a look. There is that engineering bay being placed down at about, I believe it was started at the 6-minute 30-second mark or around there. And we are now going into Reactored Barracks. Reactored Barracks Tech Lab. This factory here most likely will be adding on a reactor and then placing down a starport as well. You can see that Lucifron is a bit gas limited at this point, as he is now establishing up one refinery, maybe perhaps a second one as well. Lucifron, come on, make that reactor. There you go. And he is going to be going 3 racks starport with a reactor as well to double train up those medevacs. Stim pack nearing completion. Lucifron perhaps should have those lower hit point Marines hiding inside that bunker, as we already see Mana setting up some very, very smart proxy pylons on the other side of the map. These have a twofold purpose. 1, acting as a scouting beacon, and 2, acting as a reinforcement point. They'll also be able to scout out any medevacs if they do fly by, even though I don't think this location here is common for medevacs to fly by in a north versus south position. Perhaps down here and here would have been a better choice overall. Mana now running up on 3 bases, and Lucifron having the stronger overall army. If Lucifron wants to win this game, he does need to scout out this expansion and punish it early. You can see that the Marines quickly chasing after that Stalker, able to take it down, and that was a huge, huge move once more. Lucifron with a very, very large army advantage, but Mana can easily come back with this, as he does have those gateways warping in, and they are now warping in or upgrading into warp gates. 16 supply very, very quickly. Observer now being trained as well, as the medevacs are being pushed out. The Marines, are they going to catch anything? One Marine walks up, sees the large group of units. There are some force fields capturing some Marines on the wrong side, as one Marine now tries to fight back there. All right, sentries. You can see there is a probe down here. That probe is going to have better days. It's not going to get taken down, though, as the units are just going back and forth. And is he going to be able to make it up? SCVs are going to be able to make it up here. And there you go. What are these SCVs doing? Where's the engagement? There's another force field. And I believe Mana... Oh, Mana actually being protected by his force fields. SCVs now being brought over, more medevacs being brought in as well, and Mana in a bit of a trouble, having to get past his own force fields. Medevacs are in position. The Marines are upgraded 1-0. Is this going to be enough, as the SCVs are absorbing a lot of damage? Marauders and Marines still reinforcing, and Mana may actually end up losing this battle here after a bad round of force fields. Here we go, and the photon cannon does get taken down. Stalkers are on the run, and with so many probes perhaps going to get taken down here. And no, just going after the probes, going after the easier, more expensive targets per hit points, taking down Zealots as they're on the run. More units going to get taken down, and Stalkers getting taken down as well. There you have it, the stim away, the beautiful stutter step. There is the GG by Mana. Mana losing game 1 in this series to a well-executed 2-base timing push from Lucifron. All of that off of only three production buildings worth of barracks. Starport, you can see the reinforcements coming in, the rally points as well. Very, very nicely done. They are rallied right here to that front door. Medevacs also rallied there as well. And Lucifron, with the stronger army throughout, finds the perfect timing and is able to just dig into Mana. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 1. Please stay tuned for Game 2.